The conflict between Israel and Palestine is one of the most complex and enduring disputes in modern history. Though it unfolds in a small strip of land between the Mediterranean Sea and the Jordan River, its impact is felt across the world. To understand how we got here, let's begin with a ship. It's 1947, just 1 year before the State of Israel is founded. A boat called the Exodus, carrying 4,500 Jewish Holocaust survivors, set sail for Palestine. Their goal: to rebuild their lives in what they believe is their ancestral homeland. At that time, Palestine was under British control and home to hundreds of thousands of Arabs. But the idea of creating a Jewish state had been gaining momentum for decades, driven by Zionism, a movement seeking a safe homeland for Jews after centuries of persecution. Jewish immigration had surged, especially during the Nazi era. The British, overwhelmed by rising tensions, turned the Exodus away. Its passengers were sent back to Europe. The incident shocked the world and helped build support for a Jewish state. That same year, Britain announced it would leave the territory. The United Nations proposed a solution: divide the land into 2 states, one Jewish, one Arab, with Jerusalem under international control. Jewish leaders accepted the plan. Arab leaders rejected it. In 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the birth of the State of Israel. The next day, the new nation was invaded by Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq. Israel not only survived, it won. The Arab state envisioned by the UN was never created. More than 700,000 Palestinians were expelled or fled from their homes in what they call the Nakba, or catastrophe. Egypt took control of Gaza. Jordan took the West Bank. Israel expanded its borders, taking 77% of former British Palestine. In 1967, another turning point, the Six-Day War. Israel launched a preemptive strike against its neighbors, capturing the Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, the Golan Heights from Syria, and all of East Jerusalem, Gaza, and the West Bank. Millions of Palestinians were now living under Israeli military occupation. Soon after, Israel began building settlements in the newly occupied territories, a policy that would become a central issue in the conflict. In 1973, Egypt and Syria launched a surprise attack on Yom Kippur, Israel's holiest day. The war revealed shifting military dynamics. With U.S. support, Israel held off the attack. But Egypt's growing ties with the U.S. eventually led to peace. In exchange for getting the Sinai back, Egypt became the first Arab country to recognize Israel. Not everyone was happy. Egypt was suspended from the Arab League. Around the same time, the Islamic Revolution in Iran would have long-term consequences, fueling support for Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza. By 1982, Israel invaded Lebanon, aiming to drive out Palestinian fighters. And in 1987, a new chapter began, the First Intifada. Images of Palestinian children throwing stones at Israeli tanks shocked the world. That same year, Hamas was founded, an Islamist group aligned with the Muslim Brotherhood. It soon became a rival to the secular Fatah Party, which led the PLO, the Palestine Liberation Organization. In 1993, a moment of hope, the Oslo Accords. For the first time, Israel and the PLO recognized each other. Palestinians gained limited self-rule in parts of the West Bank and Gaza. The plan was to negotiate a final peace deal within 5 years. But peace didn't last. It was derailed by a series of events. The Hebron massacre by a Jewish settler in 1994, Palestinian suicide bombings, the assassination of Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin by a right-wing extremist in 1995, and the ongoing expansion of settlements. In 2000, after years of frustration, the Second Intifada erupted. This time, the violence escalated dramatically. Suicide bombings replaced stone throwing, and Israel responded with military force. In 2005, Israel withdrew from Gaza, removing troops and settlers. But it kept control over Gaza's airspace, borders, and coastline, effectively maintaining the occupation. In 2006, Hamas won Palestinian elections, then seized control of Gaza after a violent split with Fatah. Israel and Egypt imposed a blockade, tightly restricting movement of people and goods. Many Gazans began describing their home as an open-air prison. Since 2008, Hamas and Israel have fought several wars, in 2008, 2012, and 2014. Thousands died, most of them Palestinian civilians. Meanwhile, Israeli settlements kept growing. Today, over 700,000 settlers live in the West Bank and East Jerusalem, considered illegal under international law. In 2020, another major shift, the Abraham Accords. Israel normalized relations with the UAE, Bahrain, and Morocco. Palestinians were left out of the process entirely. So where are we now? We see a cycle of armed conflict, military occupation, increasing settlements, and deepening resentment. For Palestinians, the dream of a state feels further away than ever. And in this volatile atmosphere, on October 7, 2023, Hamas launched a surprise attack. Israel responded with overwhelming force. The violence escalated, again. What began as a territorial dispute has become a decades-long tragedy of war, exile, occupation, and failed peace. A conflict between two peoples, one land, and no easy answers.